What's up, boys and girls? We are back with another tier list. Edwin's in the house, and we are running through the best video game consoles of all time. You ready, Edwin?
I'm ready to little bit.
Let's get into it. Okay, first up is the Xbox One. So let's take a look at the Xbox One. I actually own one of these, and I actually really like it. I'm not the hugest Xbox. Oh, how good is Witcher 3? So good. So yeah, I had Witcher 3. I had Red Dead Redemption, some of the Assassin's Creed games. So I quite like the Xbox One. It's sitting under my TV and still gets the odd play. What are your thoughts?
I like the design of the console. It looks really nice. I don't know too much about it. I've never owned one myself. But,
Yep.
Like Sam.
Forza's good. Forza's good. Okay, cool. So I'm probably the Xbox guy here. So what tier is it going in? I think it's either fun or great. We'll probably come back
I
to
was
that.
thinking one of those two.
Yeah, I'll put it fun for now. All right, next up is the PS1.
Ooh.
The PS1 is so bloody good. Tekken 3, check it out. What do you reckon? What's that? Final Fantasy? Oh, that's not fucking Final Fantasy. Sudoku. What do you think about the PS1?
I think Sony did a great job when they decided to split up from Nintendo and make their own console.
They what? Split off from Nintendo?
So a while back, the people that made the PS1 were working together with Nintendo.
Really?
Yeah. All the people that became Nintendo.
We're gonna have to fact check that.
We can fact check that. if it's slightly off, you know what to do. Anyway.
Yeah, that's it.
I think that it's great for the time. It's a very small console as well. Classic.
Yeah, I think it's awesome. So many good games. It was like Final Fantasy 7, 8, 9, Metal Gear Solid. There's Final Fantasy 8. Oh, it was just so bloody good. I'm putting it right up near the top. Final Fantasy 9. What else? What else is the countdown? Let's just see. Yeah, Metal Gear Solid. This game is so good. So good. First will be Final Fantasy 7. In fact, I already knew that. That's cheating. Yeah. Amazing console. Amazing console. I honestly think I'm somewhere between legendary and great. I think honestly I'm gonna say legendary.
I would say great, but I'm not upset with your choice. It's not too far off where I put it.
Legendary. Oh, sorry, great. Great. We'll come back to it. Okay, next up is the Xbox Series X. So here we go. This is obviously the newest Xbox. They've got so the exclusives for Xbox is Halo, Gears of War, Forza, and I think that's about it. So most of the games are the same as Sony. So are we a fan of Halo? I'm definitely not.
Not really.
Gears of War, not really. Forza, admittedly, I do really like. In fact, the reason I bought my Xbox is to have Forza. So I think it's a good console, probably just because of Forza. But where are you thinking to rank this one?
Another exclusive is Microsoft Flight Simulator.
That's actually a pretty good game, let's be honest.
Yeah.
It's a pretty good game.
Starfield as well.
Starfield, yep.
Which doesn't make it. The the recent Starfield game didn't go too.
Street Fighter 6, I'm not a fan, as you know.
Oh, Street Fighter, then it's popping up for me. Elder Scrolls 6 is going to be exclusive, apparently.
Really?
Yeah, according to this list I've just found.
Huh.
We'll see how that goes. Don't quote me on that. If it is, then I like Xbox that much more.
Yeah, but we can't talk about the future yet, can we?
No, we can't.
Says it.
I think Ark 2 is going to be exclusive. Ark Survival Evolved
Yep.
was a really cool concept for a game
That's
that
the
was executed very
Is
poorly.
that the autistic dinosaur simulator?
Yeah, it's a dinosaur simulator, otherwise known as Pal World demo version.
Yeah, okay.
Pal World is this recent game that went really well and has irritated Nintendo executives a lot and a lot of Nintendo fans
Yep.
because it does the Pokemon formula but way better and people love it and it's actually like really badly put together. It's just brings the things that fans really wanted.
Yep.
Anyway, let's put this up at great.
Okay. You really think it's great? Okay. All right. No, fair enough. I was gonna say fun, but that's fine.
It does the things the Xbox One did, but better.
Fair.
A giant fan inside is cool.
Fair, but like being the newest Xbox, like obviously it's the best, but you do need to adjust for like the period as well, I think. Otherwise, the newest ones are just at the top, and that's obvious. Anyway, next up is the Nintendo GameCube. And I've selected the Wind Waker. If I was to ever play a Zelda game, I'd probably play this one because it does look quite gorgeous, doesn't it?
Yes, this was, I think this was the first Zelda game that started with this art style of being like Toon Link. Like this is Toon Link, that's the version of Link you're seeing.
Yep.
It was a really cool game. It also had a big open world feel to it. I don't remember if there were load-in screens in many places,
Yep.
but it did feel very open world-like.
Yep.
There's little Easter eggs and hidden items everywhere. The art style is what really saves it. Because it's a GameCube game, the graphics aren't amazing,
Yep.
but the art style is really nice, just similar to how they did Breath of the Wild and
Yep.
games after that.
Yeah, and then they obviously had a Mario game on it, and then Metroid. Metroid made a comeback on the GameCube. There was 3 Metroid. Metroid Prime was a really big one. And which Mario was it on the GameCube? Oh fuck, can't remember. I'm not a huge Mario fan, as you know.
I don't remember, but Smash Brothers Brawl. No, that was on the.
Was it Melee?
Melee.
Metroid Prime. There you go. Yeah, I didn't play this one, but it looks bloody good. Look, as you know, I'm not a huge Nintendo fan. I'm not inclined to rank it especially high. But where would you like to put it?
In terms of the games, I would say great or legendary, but in
Ah.
terms of the hardware, it's fun because it's got this little disc, it's a little box, it's kind of shaky, it's got all those old VGA cords. I don't know, that's just my opinion. Yeah. Anyway, let's go for fun.
Let's go fun. All right, the PS5, your favorite object in the universe, Elden Ring. What
Yeah.
do we got?
Yeah. Woo. Okay, so let's just get a few things out of the way straight away. Comparing it with its biggest competitor, the Xbox Series X, it's pretty much on par. It does some things slightly better and some things slightly worse. The games on it though, the exclusives, I think that's what gets it to win.
Oh, for sure. For sure. God of War is the obvious one.
Yeah.
Gran Turismo. What else?
God of War, Gran Turismo, Elden Ring is not exclusive.
We'll edit this out because just
But
keep.
it's still worth watching.
Yeah, definitely. Personally, I think that the graphics on the PS5 are like almost the same as the PS4. I personally wasn't completely blown away by it.
The Spider-Man games are exclusive.
Yep.
And the first Spider-Man game was really good, even though the next 2 were kind of like copy-paste,
Yep.
same thing.
Yep.
What else is exclusive? Ghosts of Tsushima.
Oh yeah.
One
Yep.
of the best games to be released in the last 5 years or so. Like, I would definitely put that up in the top 10 list of great games.
Yep.
So smooth, so beautiful, well designed, story's amazing.
Yep.
What else we got? Horizon Zero Dawn,
Oh yeah.
Gran Turismo, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. So the
Oh
remaster,
yeah. Yep. True. Yep.
that's exclusive, and Ratchet and Clank. I don't know if
Yep.
anybody
Which we're
really-
watching now, I think.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not a fan. It's a cute looking game. It's like their sort of Mario game, I guess.
Oh, Baldur's Gate
Sony.
3. I heard this was really good.
Yeah, this won Game of the Year. It won a lot of awards.
Yeah. Anyway, let's move on.
Yeah, let's put it in Legendary.
Okay, cool. I would have said great because I just don't think it's that big an upgrade from the last one. But no doubt it's pretty bloody good.
Cool.
Nintendo 64, I've put on Mario Kart. This is my favorite game on the 64. Bloody love Mario Kart, especially this edition. Yeah, what do you reckon about the 64?
The 64 was pretty revolutionary at the time. A lot of really nice games on it.
It had
Loaded them pretty fast too.
Yep. Yeah, I remember GoldenEye was huge. GoldenEye, this is before your time, but GoldenEye was freaking phenomenal. And then they brought out Perfect Dark by the same developer, and Perfect Dark was even better. It was freaking insane.
I played GoldenEye on my cousin's N64, and I can tell why it was big at the time because there weren't many first-person shooters like that.
Yep.
And you could just like go down a corridor and then
Yep.
aim and fire. So it had that whole stealthy shooter kind of appeal to it, which is
Yep.
nice.
Yeah, so I quite like the 64. It's below the PS1. I'm gonna put it in fun. Do you agree with that?
I agree, because not all the games were great, but the ones that were great were extremely efficient. They did
Yep.
the maximum they could with technology in it.
Yep. All right, the next up is the Super Nintendo, and we've got Zelda: Link to the Past. The Super Nintendo was bloody amazing for its time, but it's hard to play those games now, I would say. So I'm looking back at it with nostalgia, but I wouldn't actually play this game anymore. In fact, I've never liked Zelda, as you know, but Super Nintendo in general, it would be difficult to go back and play it.
Yeah, same. I agree. I like the Zelda storyline. Like I know what these games are about. I don't know those consoles too well myself, but just looking at the way that this plays right now, it looks smooth, but very 16-bitty, 64.
Yeah,
Like I can see things that I don't think I should be able to see.
yeah. Obviously, everything's 2D, and they've done well with what they can. They've kept it cartoony. Yeah, on the Super NES, they also had a few Mario games which were quite good. Donkey Kong Country was amazing. Overall, I think it was a very good console.
Yeah.
I'm going to put it in great, purely because for its time, it was freaking awesome.
Yeah. No, I get that. It took bigger strides than some of the things that fun.
Yep. All right, the PS2.
Ooh,
The PS2 was so bloody good.
the first big flab.
I think the PS2 is the best console of all time, original God of War, and I think it's the best-selling console of all time. It's about 100 million copies sold. It had Grand Theft Auto 3, Vice City, San Andreas, Final Fantasy X, Metal Gear Solid 2, Metal Gear Solid 3, God of War, obviously.
What came out first, the N64 or the PS2? It was the N64, obviously, but the GameCube or the PS2?
About the same, I can't quite remember.
It was right around that time because I remember the PS2. That's when they added the joysticks from PS1.
Yep.
And that went hand in hand with the depth of field in all the games where they would suddenly became more three-dimensional.
Yep.
And you needed that to navigate, which was really cool.
Yep. Yeah, Snake Eater, this game was bloody good. What's number one gonna be? Final Fantasy X. Fuck, I love that game. So bloody good.
I'm gonna play more Final Fantasy. I never really got into that.
Alright, PS2 is straight up legendary. No arguments. Okay, the Wii U. Now, as I said to you earlier, I don't consider the Wii or the Wii U to be a real console. I think it's like some kind of geriatric bloody movement simulator. But what do you think about the Wii U?
They tried and they failed.
Yeah.
What they were trying to do, and what they did successfully do with their next console, was create a hybrid handheld home console.
Yep.
And they also wanted to create a controller that was different, which is what Nintendo always does. They always look at the previous design and they go, all right, well, this was nice, but we're completely done with this. Here's a whole new design.
Yep.
Let's go and sandbox this for a while and see what we can do.
Yep.
But the problem is that it was extremely underpowered for the time.
Mm.
It was running on a processor that would have been good for 10 years before it.
Wow.
And it was slow as hell. I had this console. It was my first. I grew up without consoles. I started using them when I was like 19 years old. This was my first console,
Wow.
and it sucked.
Yeah, it
But
looks
when I
like it.
first got it, I liked it. I didn't realize how much it sucked until I had a good comparison.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I absolutely hate the Wii U. I want to put it down in incel.
Marginally more powerful than the Wii.
Yep.
Only a little bit.
Gotcha. All right, Nintendo Switch. All right, and we've got Super Mario Odyssey. I'm not a Nintendo fan, not a Mario fan. I don't care for the Switch. What do you think?
Fun.
Yeah.
So, I think the Switch is a fine console. I don't think it's legendary, but I would put it in great or fun. I think some games on it are like meh. Plenty of games on it are amazing.
Yep.
It does so much with what they have at hand, and the controllers are packed with different features for immersion. Something I really like about the Switch that has over the Wii U and the Wii before it is the what are they called? Not gyroscopes. The motion sensors, whatever those sensors are called.
Yep.
They work independently of the console, and they don't need any exterior sensor set up. So you don't need to put like a little tab over your TV like you did with the others. With
The Wii, yeah.
You just take it out of the console and go.
Yeah.
And it's quite accurate. It's not finicky. You never get to a point where you have to recalibrate it. It just works.
Yep. Yeah, look, the best thing I can say about Nintendo is Xbox and Sony are pretty similar. So if you already own one of those consoles and you're looking for a second, I think Nintendo then makes sense. But if you are only going to choose one, I think Nintendo always falls very far short.
Yeah, they've got their own little ecosystem. They've got very exclusive games that you don't find on anything else. And if you already like any of those games, it's probably worth getting. But if you don't, then
That's it. There's a lot of Nintendo exclusives. It's like, yeah, Mario, Zelda, Metroid, Mario Kart, on and on and on and on. I just don't happen to like any of those games.
Forgot Pokemon.
Yeah, fair call. So, look, I'll let you make the call. Where do you put the Switch?
It is outdone all the others that we put in there. Let's put it in great. You just look at sales. It's great.
Controversial. Okay, the original Xbox, let's fire it up. So Splinter Cell admittedly was a bloody good game on the Xbox. Xbox also had Halo, which I do not like. Its competitor was the PS2. PS2 was the best console of all time, and I think the Xbox fell very far short. The best games on Xbox were like Fable, Knights of the Old Republic. Like, you gotta be kidding me. You expect me to buy an Xbox? I'm not saying it was bad, but against the PS2, there was a huge gap of like the best to the second best, in my opinion.
This Xbox to Xbox 360 is kind of like the Wii U to the Switch, where it was shit and it wasn't what it should have been.
Yep,
Yeah, I get you. So I don't know the Xbox too well. I never played the original Xbox.
yep. Okay, well, I'm gonna put it in overrated. I'm just gonna put it in
It
overrated.
needs something fancier.
Yep. Okay, cool. We have the NES. The NES came out about 30 bloody years ago, I think. Look at Zelda on the NES. Now, you notice on the Super NES, Zelda looked okay. 87. My girlfriend was born in 87. Anyway, Legend of Zelda on the NES, it's just an absolute mess. The Super NES retains some nostalgia, but the NES doesn't even look playable. I could not even play this right now.
If I had never seen any video games before in my life, this would look fun.
Yeah.
But I have. And unfortunately, I know there's going to be people watching this video who maybe grew up playing these games, and I apologize because you have the nostalgia.
Yeah.
And right now, I'm just like stabbing the nostalgia. Like, this is shit.
Yeah,
But
exactly.
really, it's like, it doesn't look like a fun game.
Yeah, exactly. Like, even when I was young in the 90s playing games, this would have been dog shit. I just could not play it. Could not play it. So, where do we put the NES? It feels harsh to put it in incel.
It's not incel.
I think overrated,
Yeah.
because even though it's really old and you have to cut it some slack, you could not play it. Like, it is unplayable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, now we have the Wii. Now, as you know, I don't consider the Wii to be a console. I think it's like some kind of exercise simulator for children and geriatrics.
Okay.
But here's a Zelda game for you to
So,
discuss.
your main gripe here is the motion controls.
Yeah, I found it gimmicky. Yeah,
So let me clear this up here real briefly. There are some games that rely on it.
yeah,
Most games have it as an option,
yep,
or it's one part of the control, one small part.
sure.
I think I remember in this game, in Legend of Zelda Twilight Princess, you could actually use the controller to do the sword and shield stuff.
Yep.
And it didn't feel like some like bullshit cardio. It actually felt pretty immersive. The sword especially was pretty accurate. The shield was annoying. Sometimes you'd raise the other half of the Joy-Con, it wouldn't always come up. But the sword was cool. The rest of it was all button mashing like it
Yep.
should be.
Yep.
This game was great.
Oh,
It was the first Zelda game that had this dark aspect to it. It didn't feel like PG or G rated.
Oh, yeah, good point, good point.
Yeah, and Rule 34 went crazy with that little twink thing that was sitting on that wolf there.
Yeah.
But all that stuff aside, I don't think it's the best console ever, but I do think it's way better than the Wii U.
Okay, so maybe I've been harsh on it. Resident Evil doesn't look too bad either. Okay.
Yeah, and well, like I said, Wii U is only a tiny bit more powerful, but it came out like 6 years or something later.
Yep.
So at the time, it was a pretty decent console.
Yep. Okay, cool. So where do you want to rank it?
I'm gonna put it in fun.
Okay, fair enough. And the last one is the PC. Now, we almost weren't going to do it because I think it's unfair to have the PC because it has everything. The PC's been around for 30 years. It has the nostalgia of the classics. It has the cutting edge latest games and everything in between. So it's obviously legendary. It almost feels like, sorry, I should be playing a video. It almost feels unfair to include it. Yeah, so, but look, it's in the list. It's obviously legendary.
What do we mean when we say PC? We're referring to a modern PC.
Well, I took it to mean the PC in all of its existence, like every PC game that's ever come out.
Now that would be like saying Nintendo instead of Wii U, Wii, GameCube, what have you.
But not quite, because a Nintendo GameCube is a Nintendo GameCube. But a PC is like this nebulous term. It's just like which specific PC?
I mean, can you load Red Dead Redemption 2 on a PC from the 90s?
No, you can't.
Right.
Yeah.
So very different.
Yeah, that's right.
Let's examine PC from the last 5 years. We've got really cool things like 3080s and 4070s, and big fans and ultra cool, innovative cooling systems. Sometimes it's auto cooling in some PC builds, which is mad.
Yep.
So you've got really efficient systems that can hypothetically just do whatever you want them to do if you have the money and time to customize them.
Yeah.
That's the only downside I'd say to this, because you gotta have the time and the money to get it to that point where it can do all these things better than all these little consoles.
Yeah, I think bang for your buck, I think PC is quite poor, because I think a console is a fraction of the price of a good PC.
Especially these days with the silicon shortage.
Yeah, good point. And if I had to make another criticism, certain games don't work well on a PC, like kind of action games, but then you can then get a controller for the PC. I don't know if that's sort of... You can technically use a PlayStation controller on a
Hardcore
PC.
PC players hate it.
Yeah. So there's like this game, Great GTA 5 wouldn't be that good on a PC, except you can literally just use a PS controller on a PC.
Yeah.
So it's sort of, I don't know if that counts or not.
You can buy a custom controller where you can remove buttons and put the ones you want into it.
Yeah, exactly. So that's why I found it difficult to do the PC, because the PC is like everything.
Well, let's be extra harsh on it. There's a lot of time involved with setting it up. It's not as easy to use. So that does detract from the fun of it. At least once it's there, it's great.
Yep.
So I'm going to put it in... What's the one about
No,
fun?
it's legendary.
It's legendary?
Oh, I mean, if you're going to do it at all, it has to be legendary.
Okay.
Oh, I mean, tell me if you disagree, but I just thought, like, clearly it's legendary. It's like got 30 years of games. You can't make me include it and then not put it at the top, mate.
I'm just trying to get you more views.
Keep putting it in second to top tier. Get the pitchforks.
Nothing will get me more views at this point. All right, so let's do a breakdown and see if we have any disagreements. Wii U down in the incel, Xbox and NES in overrated, Xbox One, GameCube 64 and Wii in fun, PS1, Xbox Series X, Super NES and Switch in great, up in legendary, PS5, PS2 and PC. Okay, cool. My only thoughts are PS1, I'm almost thinking about higher. Super NES, I'm almost thinking about higher just for nostalgia.
Yeah, I think I'm putting the Switch higher.
Oh, in legendary, you gotta be fucking kidding me.
Do you know how well the Switch sold in its first year of release? It was the #1 console. The #1
God.
for over a year, like up until 2018.
All right, we could put it up. We can put it up because I forced my will on the PC, so I've got to let you have your way on the Switch. You got me. All right, that's it, boys and girls. We are done. Let us know in the comments if you agree or disagree. Yalla bye.
Ciao.